Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
Good morning. Happy day to you. It's Monday. It's Monday. Doesn't have to be a bad day. Unless you choose to. Unless you want to have a bad day, then go for it. And do it, I guess. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. I noticed you've been watching from Facebook lately. So, not that it mattered. Just noticed. I told you I notice every little thing. Every little thing she does is magic. But yeah, good day. I'm having a good day. I woke up in a good mood. My mind thought it wanted to do other things. It was wrong. It was wrong. Yeah, I'm like, no, I'm having a good day. I don't care what happens today. Devil tried to interfere a little bit, show me stuff, put stuff in my face, stuff like that. Yeah. Sorry, Charlie. So I'm gonna name the devil now Charlie. Sorry, Charlie. You ain't getting this one. You had your time to play around with my soul. You screwed it up, dude. Screwed it up. I just got to step this because it is irritating me a little bit. Okay, because I'm the kind of person that if I'm chairing and there's silence, I start calling up people. So I don't have any qualms about it. Not everybody likes to do that, and it's preference, choice. But I left the meeting because nobody had talked for 10 minutes. I'm not gonna sit. I would rather listen to music or go watch a fun video or something than just sit there in silence and stare at you. I mean, come on. Why are we going to meet? My sponsor told me if I'm not going to a meeting and planning on sharing my experience, strength, and hope, that I shouldn't bother. So I left a little early. But every group is autonomous and they can run it how they want. So why am I irritated? Because I didn't get what I wanted. Because I didn't get what I wanted. Oh, no. All right. I'm going to have to get rid of that for now. We will come back to that. I had AI listen. Let's go to Country Living. 300 best dad jokes that will make anybody laugh. Fresh dad best dad jokes about. Let's just go with fresh dad jokes. All right, got that set up. Michelle says, me too. The uneasy silence is difficult for me. I don't so much mind the silence. It's just if I wanted silence, and that's what I would go get. Silence, but the uneasy silence, it used to. Now it doesn't. It took a while. Of course, that's not entirely true. I have ADHD, and I tend to move around a lot and stuff. So, yeah. So maybe it is an uneasy silence for me. All right. What time is it? Well, it's 11:05 Mountain Standard Time, but it is time for Dion's Daily Jokes. Let's get started. We like to start this off with a little bit of humor, kind of get us going. Yesterday was kind of cool. So I came in. They were bombing. They were they were here to disrupt things. I turned them into a listener. It was awesome. That's probably the funniest thing so far. All right, let's get to this. How do you make holy water? Well, no, we that isn't new. We just told that one last week. Why is it not scrolling? All right. Why are Christmas trees bad at knitting? They're always dropping their needles. Yeah. What did the lunchbox say to the refrigerator? Don't hate me because I'm a little cooler. Hmm. Yeah. We need better ones. What do you do to have a space party? You plan it. Oh, I get it. You plan it. You plan it. We need better ones. All right. What did Elvis say to his landscaper? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Why didn't the lifeguard why didn't the lifeguard save the hippie? He was too far out, man. He was too far out. All right. We'll work on better ones. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm your host today. Today we are talking about the inner child. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, and so I wrote it down uh, to give me a topic when I needed it. I needed it this morning because the daily reflection was the same thing as yesterday. So if you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Now, first of all, what is an inner child? Well, your inner child is where your big feelings, maybe some of them, but this is the kid that wants to play, that sees a Ferris wheel and wants to go on it, or I don't know about anybody else, but when I see waterfalls, you best start emptying my pockets because I'm about to get wet. I will. I don't even think. Right. When I walk through Walmart and I see buttons, I press them. We joke around a little bit. We joke around a lot, right? And I tell dad jokes because it's part of our inner child. We need to laugh at silly things. We need to be able to do that, right? So before we get on to this, let's see if we can get a better description of that. Um, what is the definition of the inner child? Right. So the inner child is a psychological concept representing the vulnerable childlike part of your personality shaped by your childhood experience, memories, and emotions. It embodies your early joys, creativity, and spontaneity. Okay? But it also it also hides hidden wounds, fears, and unresolved needs that continue to influence your adult thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Yeah. Maybe your parents weren't, uh, maybe they weren't too huggy, and you're kind of a person that, you know, that I'm not. Let's see if I can get that out. Right? Maybe you just didn't get your needs taken care of growing up, whether that was physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. We'll put it that way. There we go. That works a lot better. Okay. Maybe you didn't get these things. So it's an emotional reservoir. All right. It holds the memories, beliefs, and attitudes formed during childhood, which acts as a lens for perceiving current experiences. So, your intuition, that's partly your inner child. Your inner child is the experiences that you've had. Now, things are a little bit different for us because here we are. All right. In the dictionary, an inner child says a person's supposed original or true self. There we go. That's what I was trying to get to. Okay. Our true selves. Now, we need to think on this a little bit, right? And the thought here is, okay, that when did you start drinking? I started drinking about 13, which means emotionally, that's where I was stunted. I was emotionally stunted, and alcohol did that for me. All right. So I would act 13. I would continue acting 13, especially in relationships, insecure, jealous, overly emotional, needing stuff. Well, if I don't get this, then I just don't feel loved, right? This is also where a lot of where we start to figure out our love languages. Love languages come from the inner child and an inner child's needs, right? So I was checking chat because we got a couple people here from YouTube, but they haven't said anything yet. All right. So I asked AI, why is it important that somebody in recovery from addiction find their inner child? All right. Now there's a step that we utilize to make a connection with the inner child. It is step 4. It's step 4. All right. Because we are discovering our true selves. And step 4 and 5, that's what it does, is it helps us take a look at our true selves, who we actually are. We're taking stock and trade. We're going to figure out how we tick, at least a little bit. Okay. Finding your inner child is crucial in addiction recovery because it addresses the root causes of emotion, pain, and trauma that often fuel addiction. It's your inner child that has the trauma. Yeah. That's why when you go through it, you feel 13 again. All right. Now remember, there's two sides to this. One's good, and and just like anything in the program, it's how we utilize it. It's there. How are we going to utilize it, right? By connected with the wounded younger self, individuals can heal unresolved past issues. We cannot continue to live there. We have got to work through our past issues. But the only way that we're going to discover that, at least I have found, is by going to meetings, getting a sponsor, going through the big book with somebody. That's how I started. And once I got through the steps, I found out that that was a good start. Then I would need to go to therapy and do a lot of work. I'd do a lot of talking. I had to do a lot of healing. I'd do a lot of forgiving, not just with other people, but with myself too. Yeah. I beat the crap out of myself. I abused me more than I abused anybody else in this world. And it's important that I go back to my inner child and say, I'm sorry I did that to you. I'm sorry I did that to you. That wasn't cool. It isn't surprising that in AA meetings we can still act childish when we're having fun. All right. Still laugh at things like doo doo and see, I just did it. All right. Doo doo. He said duty. See, you're smiling. I know you are. All right. Develop healthy coping mechanisms, improve self awareness and self love, and break negative cycles leading to lasting sobriety and more fulfilled life. Okay. Breaking those negative cycles is what was biggest for me. See, that's what PTSD is. CPTSD. It is just a round robin of negative emotions, negative thoughts, intrusive thoughts. It sucks. I went through that a lot with my family. All right. So I had to do things a little different because I can't believe what's going on with my life the last 2-3 weeks when it comes to my family. You guys have heard me talk about my brothers and sisters. They're not really a part of my life. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the ones that I grew up with. They're coming back into my life. They're reaching out. They're saying certain things. My youngest brother called my mom a day or two, or whenever, I think it was Sunday or whatever. I was talking to her yesterday, but um, she's like, he was a little disappointed that he didn't get invited to, the grandkid's birthday party. And I understand where he's coming. And she's followed that up with, he's trying to be better. See, I can do that. He's my little brother. I need to give leeway. He's my little brother. I'm the older brother, man. All right. So I didn't take offense to that. I understand where he's coming from. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, and this is just to help out. I'm not saying this to be mean. But if he wants to be a part of their lives, then he needs to contact them. He needs to say, "Hey, how are you doing? Hey, what's going on in your life? I'm just send you a message, let you know I love you." He's got to do those things. He's kept himself out of all of this, and he's got to work on earning his way back. But I could tell you this, the kids are not, I know the kids are not upset with him. That's their favorite uncle. That's their favorite uncle. So I know they're not mad at him or anything. It was just, he hasn't been a part of for so long, just like I wasn't a part of for so long, that they didn't think to invite me because I had removed myself for 10 years. Right. So, and it was just an oversight. My daughter's going through a lot of stuff. She didn't think of it. And the birthday party was contentious in and of itself anyway, because there were already fights going on with the in-laws and stuff, ex-in-laws. So, it just didn't cross her mind, and it wasn't any offense, but you know, but what is that? You know. And did he quite do it the right way? No. If he wants to ask about my kids, he's got my phone number. But maybe he ain't there yet. So we got to give a little bit here, don't we? Right? And this is very much the inner child, understanding that he wants to be a part of now. Right? And that all happened because on Mother's Day, I took all the kids. I had 3 out of the 4 kids, but I had all the grandkids. That's why that all this is happening. My oldest brother on my birthday sent me a message. Sent me a message. All right. The message was, "Happy birthday. I love you." He hasn't said that in a long time. Over a decade. Now my little brother is coming. My sister I already get along with. Look what's happening to my life. My daughter came. Look what happened just this year. Within the last year, my daughter came back. My sister, my brothers. Something is working. And it has to do with the inner child. Good morning, Amber. It's good to see you. Go Broncos. Broncos play tonight. Yeah, we'll see. I'm just gonna say it. People are like, "Oh, Broncos." I knew there was no way. We'll be lucky. I think we'll be kind of lucky if we make the playoffs. Bo Nix has got to turn some stuff around, man. Our offense, here, I'll put it politely, it sucks. But I'm still gonna watch it. I guess I still watch Bronco games, even if we are losing. And I'm still a Bronco fan. So anyway, doesn't matter. See, there's part of our inner child too, playing. I want to watch football. Yeah, that's just, it's part of me being a kid. And it's okay to be a kid. If you want to go play in the dirt, if you want to play with toys and shit, I don't give a fuck. Do it. I do. I mean, look at me. I'm 55 years old and I wear superhero shirts. I've got Spider-Man hanging from here. I've got the Joker up on my wall. I'm a kid at heart. I am a kid. And what is the inner child? Where does it come from? What what is the biggest source of the inner child. It is unconditional love, my friends, for you. It is your unconditional love for you. Right? And Amber, I'd make that an announcement, but I want to, but I am going to say something in grassroots. That's awesome. Friends got 2 years. Woohoo! Yay! I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen her in months, but I know she's going through a lot of stuff. So, but I mean, like literally, she doesn't comment on my stuff. She doesn't, so I don't even know if we're friends. I'd have to go check. I'm sure we are. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder where people go. So, but I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. The fact that it's been 2 years already is wow. All right. Why inner child work is so important in recovery addresses the root cause. We got to get down to causes and conditions. Or without causes and conditions, without the root cause, we don't know what to work on. And then what happens? Well, then the alcoholic's going to go do what they think that they need to do. And it's probably the wrong thing. Yeah. Amber says, little birdies have left the nest. That's a great way to put it, Amber. Thank you. They've left the nest. That's cool. Seemed like a year ago we were just celebrating her birthday. Means it's been a year since I did her podcast. Oh, right on. Wow. So, root cause addiction often serves as a coping mechanism for childhood trauma, abuse, neglect, attachment issues. Inner child work helps uncover. Okay. So, it is, but not always. I have plenty of speakers that have come on who grew up in a great home. But I'm going to tell you something. It was still an alcoholic home. Just because the mom and dad weren't drinking. See, mom and dad didn't drink because their parents drank, right? But they still come from a dysfunctional family. And if they have not healed, it's going to carry on. Do you need alcohol to be an asshole? Because I don't. Oh, there we go. See, it's still unhealed alcoholism, whether the person that has alcoholism has alcoholism. Okay. Now, what I don't like here is they're lumping addiction, they're lumping all of it together. Alcoholism is different. There's just there's too many variables. I'm not going to go into all of that. Okay. Let's say you were adopted, but you ended up being an alcoholic and you had a great family, and there was no trauma, abuse, neglect, attachment issues. In fact, you had great foster parents. But you're going to drink because you were a foster kid. See, that's going to be the first reason. Oh, and then you're going to focus on that. Well, my parents didn't want me. Even though you grew up in a great home with everything provided that you ever needed or wanted, and it will still happen. That's alcoholism. Why did it work this way? We gave them everything they ever needed. And I've seen this situation several times. So it isn't always this. An alcoholic feels this way without the other stuff happening. We always feel set apart as it is anyway. Right? So I agree with this, but not always. Right? Because I grew up with trauma, abuse, and neglect. I grew up that way. But not everybody grew up. Go listen to some of them stories. Try to think of one offhand. All right. So it heals unresolved wounds. All right. Now, I want you to think of something because I know you got trials and tribulations going on in your life, right? But let's stop for a second. Is life really that bad right now at this moment? Is it that bad? Why can't it just be okay? Including your troubles. Maybe it's perfect the way it's supposed to be. And we can take trust in that. Sure, you might be going through some things. I'm going through things too. I'm back on a ramen diet. We're broke again. Do you think that's going to be a cause for a bad mood? No. Which means which means I can't get my Calendly yet. I can't move my website over yet. I can't get a new Zoom room yet. These are all things that I need to get before I can open the business. What does it mean? It means God has a plan. That's what it means. Welcome, Harmony from KC. Yay, another person I haven't met yet. Or maybe I do know you. I don't know. But welcome, Harmony. It's great to have you. I always like to let people know this. I share my experience here, but if your experience is different, please put it in chat. Please do. Just don't say, Dion, you're wrong. It's this way. Don't hurt my feelings. All right. Now I'm just letting you know we're open here, man. Not just because I have my experience and makes it fact for me. Your experience may be a little different. So if you want to make comments, things like that, feel free to do that. Just yesterday, I had somebody here. They had the intention of disrupting the meeting. I welcome them too. I welcome everybody. I know. Oh, it's Cal. Okay, then I don't need to. I should have known from the KC. All right. Now I don't need to explain it. Kel knows me. And Kel just celebrated 4 years. Woo! With September, we got to celebrate so much. We had our speaker meeting on Saturday. And did you see when everybody left that meeting? All the hope. All the freaking hope. It was so cool. All right. So it heals unresolved wounds. The inner child represents the vulnerable parts of ourselves that hold on to past pain. Reconnecting with this part allows for the nurturing love and support that we're missing, facilitating healing of those wounds. Now, men, I'm going to tell you, you're going to read that, you're going to be like, oh man, what a weak fuck. Nope. In fact, it's the opposite, my friends. And anybody that's thinking that way. It's hard. Yeah. But without my inner child, I don't get to see the beauty. I don't get to see the forest for the trees. I don't get to see the world. I need that sense of wonderment. I need it. Because my mind automatically it picks apart everything, man. It's a little, you know. So I need this. What does that do? It helps balance me out. Right? It helps balance me out. When I am decompressing for the day, it's me and my inner child hanging out. We're playing video games. Leave us alone. Yeah. Right? So if I can get back to that, it is my inner child that allows me to love myself and everybody else unconditionally because it is not blocked by pomp and circumstance, by opinion or any other outside source. When I love somebody unconditionally, it is my inner child doing that. It is not my adult brain that is it can be very judgmental. It can be. Not as much as it used to, but it can be that way. It fosters self-love and compassion. Yeah. I'll bring this up real quick. What you say to yourself matters. If you are my friend and you call yourself a name in front of me, I'm going to say something to you. I'm going to tell you, you don't talk to my friends that way. You need to apologize. And you apologize to yourself. Hey, man, I mean, like, oh, man, I'm so stupid. Because we alcoholics, we go over, I'm so stupid. And we feel the need to do what? Beat up on ourselves. And we do. whether that's emotionally, mentally, or physically. And guess what? That is abuse, and it is not cool to you. That's not fair. You deserve better than that. It's not always easy to just get over. I understand. I really do. Because I do the same thing, right? By understanding the past and meeting the needs of the inner child, individuals develop greater self-acceptance, overcome low self-esteem, and cultivate a kinder relationship with themselves. Okay. About 4 months ago, I don't know, it was within the last 6 months. I remembered something from very long ago, and it was my uncle sexually abusing me. And I've had to work through that. Okay. Now, I didn't blame other people. You know who I went after? Me. I blamed me. And that wasn't fair. That wasn't fair. It was something that I had to work on immediately, and I knew it. I took it straight to my therapist. Okay. Because a lot of times, growing, there's a part of me that still doesn't believe that I deserve to have all these things, and that's not true. Right. Developing healthy coping skills when the root cause of pain are addressed. Individuals are better equipped to manage difficult emotions without resorting to substances or behaviors. Yeah, those old behaviors, man, right? They can come out, right? I think they should have put this one first. Breaks negative cycles. Got to break them. And you got to do it for you. This whole program is about doing it for yourself. This is not, AA is not a self-help program. It is a help yourself program. It's a buffet. Yeah. And your experience is going to be different. It's going to change. Maybe the order is different, things like that. Why? Because you are a different person than me. And that's okay. See, God is everything, which means he's everything for you and he's everything for me. And that's just fact, even though the needs are different. All right. So unaddressed childhood pain can lead to destructive patterns in adulthood. Healing the inner child helps to break these cycles, creating a foundation for healthy choices and relationships. Now, remember, you attract what you are also. And the healthier you become, the more people you will attract that are wanting the same thing. So it does that also. Not only that, but then you're being a good example to everybody else around you. Yeah. All right. So the promotes emotional well-being. The process leads to a greater emotional stability, a more authentic sense of self. You see, here's the thing: we're bullshit detectors. So when we're doing it, oh, we know, you know, you know. We want that authentic self, and it's the inner child that helps us with that. All right, enhances awareness and self-understanding. It not only enhances that, but it enhances your understanding of what other people are going through too. Okay. When you see pictures of children, where they're hugging, maybe it's a little white kid and a little black kid and they're hugging, right? And the caption says like, that hate is taught. And that would be true. But your inner child doesn't do that. It loves people for who they are because you want to be accepted for who you are too, don't you? Well, the only way to be able to accept you or for other people to accept you for who you are is you got to give it first. It's like that St. Francis prayer where it's better to love than to be loved, that it's better to comfort rather than be comforted. This is the same kind of system. the more you give out of what it is that you want, the more you will receive in kind. That's just how it works. I don't know why it works that way, but I know, at least for me, that's my experience. It works out pretty well. Yeah. All right. Well, this turned out to be a good one. I got to see some friends. I found out a friend had a birthday. Right. That's how that's how I'll get her to the meeting, Amber. I'll congratulate her in grassroots because I miss her. But I don't want to chase people either. They go through things and things like that too. So yeah. And Dion has a fear of what? What does Dion's inner child have a fear of? Abandonment. That's why I really appreciated Amber saying little birdies have left the nest. That made much more sense than they abandoned me, because that's not what happened. See? And then we can laugh at it. Oh, okay. And then guess what? Now it's no longer a problem. I've created a solution. Thank you, inner child, for being there for me. Thank you, inner child, for the hugs, for the love, for the unconditional love. Thank you, inner child, for letting me be who I want to be, even though I might be weird or freaky or, dare I say, a little crazy. Because I am. I'm all right with it. I used to have a saying, I'm happy to be living in a split level head. I know I'm insane. I've accepted it. In fact, I grabbed hold of that thing and we were best friends, me and my insanity. Yeah, I don't work that way no more. All right. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.